Okay, so this is the first of two videos on this page about Wikipedia. This video is going to cover when it's okay to use Wikipedia, and the second shows an example of somebody misusing Wikipedia. So, now, many of your teachers have probably told you that Wikipedia is not appropriate for college-level research, and that is true. Wikipedia, being an open source document, is not credible for college level research because anybody can go in and make any change he or she wants. However, that doesn't mean it's useless in college, and I want to show you when Wikipedia can be of some use to us. Now, I'll probably use it a few times throughout the term, and I might even write in the feedback on your papers. Look this up on Wikipedia. So, I want to show you where this can be a very valuable tool. Now, really, it can all be summed up into one simple line. Wikipedia is good for looking up things that you already knew, but maybe forgot. For instance, let's say I asked you, when was Ode on Aggression Urn written and who wrote it? Well, you probably learned that in high school and forgot it. So that's the kind of thing that you can look up on Wikipedia. And we'll punch that up right now. And you notice it comes up because this is the kind of thing a lot of people might look up. So here we have Ode on Aggression Urn, and right away at the top we can see top center it was written by John Keats in May of 1819. Now, if your teacher disagrees with the date that it was written, you wouldn't use this to debate your teacher necessarily, because Wikipedia is not an authority. However, if you were writing a paper on Ode on Aggression Urn, it would be appropriate to say Ode on Aggression Urn was written by John Keats in the early 19th century. See, those are the kinds of basic pieces of information that everybody knows, and you could find them in any textbook, and it's just easier to find on Wikipedia. Now, let's take a look at another way Wikipedia could be helpful. Let's say you are reading Hamlet, and we'll punch that up. Wikipedia is great for finding lists of characters. And here they are. We can see all of the characters in Shakespeare's play and what role they are. Now, this can be a very valuable tool while writing a paper. And these are the kinds of pieces of information up here, the character lists, that, it's easy to find, it's not debatable, you're not making any kind of an argument or anything like that. It's just basic information. Now, let's look at one more thing. Let's say that I make a note on one of your papers about poetic diction, and you're not sure what that is. Wikipedia is great for looking things up for definitions and meanings, and here we can see right at the top, poetic diction is a term to refer to the linguistic style, vocabulary, and metaphors in use while writing poetry. Now, again, you're just gleaning a definition of a basic concept, and Wikipedia is really good for that. Now, I want to elaborate here and tell you that there are instances where it is inappropriate. For instance, let's go back a few pages to the, the Ode on Aggression Urn. If I asked you, what is Ode on Aggression Urn about, and you came to Wikipedia, read this, and then recycled it, that would be a misuse of Wikipedia. Don't do that. Instead, read the poem, and then in your own words, you tell me what it's about. Now, I advise that you read your textbooks, you read the literature, you read whatever your teachers assign first. Develop your own thoughts, and then maybe compare them to what you find around the web. But don't go to the web first and steal other people's thoughts and ideas. And you'll see Rand Paul does that on the second video on this page. And you'll look at that after this one. So you wouldn't use Wikipedia to come down here and get the background and the structure and then include that in a paper. That's stealing. But if you just wanted very basic information, for instance, what year was it written? Or, what school of thought did Keats belong to? And you can see right here, the Romantic school. That's very basic textbook information, and that's what Wikipedia is great for. However, do not use it to get extended summary, extended analysis, or any sort of real substantial content that you're going to include in a paper. For that, use your own analysis, your own thoughts, and use peer-reviewed journals, which you can find through our library's database. All right, if you have any questions on how to use or misuse Wikipedia, please feel free to use the Communicate tab at the top of our Angel screen, and I will get back to you to clarify.